Ji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet, and we ask thy blessings on our satsang today. May we be open to thy joy, to thy love. We are thine, be thou ours. Om Shanti Shanti. We'll start with a song and then a talk by Swami Kriyanandaji. Welcome again, everybody.
Some men call it progress, down with those who doubt. To join the causes others join, and shout when others shout. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Some men call it freedom, new democracy. To shun the heights and cloud the depths and court security. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Cowards see but pride in singularity. Oh, never mind if men are wrong, so long as they agree. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Claim the power within you, error to defy. The world may change or disappear, but truth can never die. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. But if you give what you're doing to God, if you do it with the motive that I want to serve God, I want to please God, and if He gives you a test, just say, God, it's your test. Don't be attached to it. Don't be involved. Don't say, God, why are you doing this to me? Just whatever you give me, God, I accept. You'll see that if you have that attitude, you can just go even-mindedly through everything, and there is just an underlying joy that keeps increasing with that. That is the harvest. You've gotten rid of weeds, and bit by bit the real fruits and the real vegetables grow. The real experiences of joy come. This is what it's all about. Jesus said, pray to the Lord experiences of joy of the harvest, that He send more laborers into the field. Jesus said, that means may to the Lord God give you that grace, because it doesn't come even by your effort. When I was new with Master, I was very intellectual. I'd read a great deal, studied a great deal, out-argued everybody I met, and I came to God first from absolutely being fed up with intellectuality. I remember the sweetness of childhood, and I thought, that's what I want. And I read Master's book, and it absolutely, well, it changed my life. But when I was with him, he kept saying, get more devotion, work on getting devotion. So I did. And I remember beginning to feel that, well, I've succeeded. I feel great devotion. When I heard a report coming back from Master with a group of disciples talking about me, and he said, Look how I have changed Walter. And I realized that's what it was all about. I had put myself in tune with him, and he had done the work. Yes, it took all my work to put myself in tune with him, but you don't have to do those things that really are signs of grace. You don't even have to develop devotion. You have to try. You have to do your best. And as you do your best, you'll find that although you may be a pretty broken reed, somehow he's able to come into you, and he will give you all that you need to become, yes, like Jesus Christ. Because Jesus only came to show us what we can be, not to show us how great he was and us poor slobs down here can't hope for anything. He came to show us our potential. That which I have done, you shall do. And he could have put it this way, and probably did. That which I have achieved, you shall achieve. So be a laborer for God. And don't ever think, I'm doing this for God, and isn't God proud of me? No. In the very doing, if you do it right, he's doing it through you. You're not doing it. And when I say not to have ego involvement, I don't mean not to involve yourself and not to do it, but I say give it to him, offer him the fruits of your labor, ask him to labor through you, and you'll see that more and more there does come into your consciousness this feeling of beatitude, that everything you're doing, he's doing with you and you with him, and you don't even know who begins and who ends. Getting rid of the sense of I means to exalt that sense of I to infinity. You never get rid of the sense of I, but you will realize that the real I isn't this tiny little human being. It's the infinite, expressing itself through all these forms. It's a wonderful adventure, an adventure worth all the incarnations of suffering. You never have heard or read of a saint saying, what a disaster, what a disappointment, what a scam. They all say it was the...
Good morning again, everyone. I like to start with reading from this fantastic book, In Divine Friendship, Letters of Counsel and Reflection with Swami Kriyanandaji. Just a couple of brief excerpts on spiritual growth. The love you feel for God is a precious gift. It is the most important ingredient in spiritual progress. You are fortunate indeed, therefore, to possess it. If you haven't felt God's response in your prayers, perhaps it's because you haven't learned yet how to seek him in quite the right way. For though it is by God's grace that we grow, we need to learn how to cooperate with that grace. The spiritual teachings show us how to cooperate with truth, with others, with God's will. Wherever you are in your development, I'm sure you would benefit from contact with those who may be further along in the spiritual search than you are. And then one more. Swamiji says, spiritual advancement can be judged also by how free you feel from constant goading of egoic individuality, the hurts, whether large or small, the pains of life, both physical and mental, the desire for recognition, fame, worldly power, importance, by how little you refer your painful or pleasant experiences back to yourself, thinking, I am the one suffering, I am exalting. It can be judged also by your inner freedom from desires of all kinds, except the longing for God, by how free you feel from every test, including those of blame, opposition, calumny, on the other hand, or praise, popularity, fame, on the other, by your inner freedom from identification with success or failure. You are advancing when you see all others as allied to your own self, and your self sense of identity expands to include everything. All the above are signs that one is advancing spiritually. The most important sign is this, that your love for God is growing ever deeper, and you feel selfless joy in the thought of him, or better still, the actual perception of him. This is a very important topic. Am I progressing spiritually? We have to realize that, yes, our path, there's a formula, it works, it's powerful. It has the guru's blessings behind it. The guru, as Swamiji said in that talk, is really making the changes, but still, we have techniques, we have the teachings, we have seva, we have satsang, we have study, we have the books, we have music, we have our guru bhais, we have so much that makes for change. And we have to make that change, we have to do our part to make the changes ourselves. I was thinking about when I first came to Ananda, I was following Master, but from a different path, a different organization. And I really wasn't making that much progress. I didn't know quite what I was doing, why I was doing it. I wasn't inspired to do it. When I got up to Ananda and I got in that challenging atmosphere with people who are warriors, people going for God, with Swami Kriyanandaji, with more meditation, more Kriya, serving all day long. I was remembering I was in an apprentice program where you came and you just gave your life to God for months, as long as you could, and then you end up living there. But I remember we get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody wanted to get up that early. We get out there and energize in the cold, in the rain, in the snow, whatever it was. It was challenging. It was challenging to the ego. It was challenging to the soul. Do you really want this or not? And then serving all day, and then in the evenings back doing more energization, more yoga postures, meditating for hours. This is what produces the growth spiritually. You have to really want it. And if it's watered down all the time, well, I don't want to get up, I don't want to go to the center, I don't want to, then you don't find as many changes. I remember that I was just really going forward when I got to Ananda, and I got under the guidance of Swamiji. I got under the guidance of the other teachers there. I started listening. I got counseling. People were guiding my life and directing me. I wasn't my own guru, so to speak. And so that was an important lesson, that it's important where you are, who's helping you, who's around you, what are the aids, what are the techniques. And we know that our path works, that Master said he could take 5 of the most restless boys and take them in 4 or 5 years, make them saints, if they do Kriya in the way that he tells them to do it. And we can't expect overnight changes to happen. I remember Swamiji said, one woman, she came to him, she said, I've been doing Kriya for 6 months. And I'm not in samadhi yet. And that's the thing. We think that we do 6 months, we do 9 months. I've been on the path a year. I've been here 2 years. You need time. Just like planting seeds. When you plant those seeds, you don't go out every day. Is it growing? Is it growing? You know it's growing. If you keep watering it, you keep giving nutrients, you know that it's growing. I was thinking about when I was learning Hindi, this was definitely a trial. I mean, I'm still learning Hindi. It's not when I was learning Hindi, I'm still learning, but to really get over that hump, I was really studying a lot. And before those Kriyas, which now by God and Guru's grace, I can give Kriya and Hindi. But I mean, that's a huge challenge. Every day I'd be going over those phrases and the words and the structure of the sentence and how to say it, how to pronounce the words right, and over and over and over. And but then I saw the change. I saw the change. It took time, but I worked at it. That's the thing. You can't just expect God to do it all for you. And same with music. I play different musical instruments, and now I'm playing a particular one that I just love. But if I don't practice, it doesn't sound good. The more I practice and I apply myself and I practice every day, it gets better and better and better. And we see if we don't do the practices, we don't do our meditation, we're not serving, we don't have the satsang, any of those things, we see that it really, we're not making great progress. And then sometimes it looks like we're not making, but you know you are. Like in your heart, you know that you are. Like I remember Devi ji said that Swamiji said to her, this person's making progress, and to a group of them. That person's doing well, that person's doing well. And I remember Master told a group of monks, he said, told one of the monks in a group, he said, you'll have clear sailing. And then the other monks thought, well, geez, what about us? And he said, you'll all have clear sailing if you stay in tune. And that's the thing, if, that big if. So anyway, Swamiji was saying, this person's doing well, that person's doing well. And Nayaswami Devi said, well, I don't really think I'm making any progress. And he said, what do you mean? You're a completely different person. And I think for all of us, if we look 2 years back, 3 years back, even a year back, I mean, we used to not even that long. We used to see people coming to the Expanding Light Retreat in America at the Ananda Village. Over one weekend, they were looking different. I mean, look at your face, look at your eyes. Look at what's the people who are around you. Look at the things that you like to do now. Look at the things you don't like to do. Look at the books that you like to read. I'm reading a wonderful book on saints now, and I just love reading it because it gives you a focus on the depth of spirituality. And, I didn't used to read books on saints before I came to Ananda. I wasn't interested in the saints at all. So you just look at the kind of television programs you watch, or the movies that you watch, or the music that you listen to, or where you go, or you may have enjoyed shopping all the time before, now you don't enjoy it anymore. So I think if you just look at your old photographs, I mean, sometimes that can be frightening, how you used to look. Look at your eyes, look at your face, and listen to your voice, how it used to be. I mean, really, there are huge changes, but they happen over time, and they happen step by step. Well, we have to know that they do happen. And so I wanted to go over a few things that I wrote down, that changes that could happen. Just listen to these. Some of them you may have had a lot of. Some of you may have had a little bit, but I always look at whatever doors open, go through that and see that everything else will come. So the first one is more joy. Now, our whole path is Ananda, Satchitananda, ever new, ever increasing, ever conscious bliss. That's who and what we really are. So if you're practicing, if you're amongst Guru Bhais, if you're doing everything that Master gave, there's a joy. And Swamiji said he went to give a talk once, to sing once at an event. He wasn't feeling joy at all. He was going through a deep test in his life. But he said, people came up to him and said they felt so much joy after he sang. So he realized that underneath even the test, and that's there, even no matter what's happening underneath it, there's God there. There's joy there. There's a river. Maybe it's not running so strongly at the time or whatever, but it's never gone, because that's who and what we really are in our souls. So an ever greater, deepening, expanding joy, I would say. And you can add light to that you yourself become more and more filled with light. There's more light in your face and your eyes, and there's light around you. Your aura, so to speak, is, some people you go around, there's a dark energy, let's face it. There's darkness in the face and the eyes, there's a heaviness around them. From our practices, we get more and more filled with light. And you look in devotees' eyes. We were at the Kriyaban retreat a couple of weekends ago in Pune, and every face was just full of light and joy. It was so beautiful to see, and transformed, even from the Thursday night to the Sunday morning. And I think mountains of karma were just burned up because of what we were doing, chanting, kirtan, classes, meditation, kriya initiation. It's such a blessing. And so see in yourself, is there more joy? Is there more light? Secondly, less desires for the world. There's less things that you want to do out there. I mean, I look at people and I go, Master, I don't want that anymore. I look at the fame and fortune and all the money people have, and I want to be known and look at me, and I just don't want that. And there must be things that just don't pull you anymore, that I have to have this, or I have to be that person, or I have to be known, or people have to like me, or people have to put me up on a pedestal. I have to be special. These things go away after a while. You just don't care. So look in your life and see if that's how you feel. Thirdly, you feel more and more God and gurus are with you throughout anything, everything that happens, the good times, the bad times, the hard times, the wonderful times, that you feel there's a sense in your heart that you have a companion with you that's always there, loving you, giving you blessings, giving you grace. There's always a companion with you. It's such a wonderful feeling to know Divine Mother's there, Masters there, the gurus are there. And when you're in times of need, that you call on them and they're there with you. Another is more openness and receptivity, more attunement, that there's not, okay, I want this, so I'm going to do this. No, it's more, Master, what do you want? Swamiji, what would you do? Master, how would you have me do this? What would you have me to say? There's more of a link that you feel that, okay, Master is pleased with this. Okay, he wants me to do the yoga postures in this way. I'm going to do them. Okay, he wants me to read this. He wants me to talk to this person instead of, I want to. Another one, more positivity. Instead of saying, no, I can't, it can't happen, it'll never work. I just can't stand hearing that. It's like, yes, say yes to life. Yes, I'll try it. Yes, I want to try it. Yes, if I don't get it right, somebody else will help me get it right. But for God's sake, open up as a channel of the gurus, as a channel of God, and say, yes, if it can be done, it will be done. If it can't, somebody else can do it. Maybe I can do it. If I can't do it, I'll get help. But positivity it's a sign of spiritual progress. It's a sign of spiritual progress is not, I can't, I won't, it can't happen. The next one is humility, seeing God as the doer. I don't mean saying I can't. I mean, whatever happens, God did it through me. He sang through me. He played the instrument. He did this, on and on like that. And then you really feel that power is behind you. I would add to God, humility, God's power flowing through you when you talk, when you go to work, when you work out a problem, when you're reading, when you study, whatever. It's a power that it breaks through the ego and it comes through you. And then the last couple, one is service, selflessness, that I'm not serving myself. I want to serve others, humanity, the universe, the infinite. I'm expanding my consciousness, my light, my joy to touch everybody. What a wonderful thing. Instead of, no, it's us four and no more. It's me and my family. And I just think of my family and I just think of my kids. That's just not enough. I think of the infinite. I think of everybody who are passing the street, every person. It's a wonderful way. And that shows your consciousness is expanded. You have a higher level of consciousness, super consciousness. And finally, more centered in the self. No matter what tests come, you feel like I'm like a rock. Master said, you'll be able to stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds. The worlds are breaking, but because you're centered in God, that you're still, maybe you've been beaten, but you're unbowed and you're still walking forward with God and gurus. And of course, ever deepening meditation, feeling the need to meditate more, to be more quiet, be more in seclusion, be more in silence, chant more, sing more, to be more in the vibration of the gurus. And finally, I'll say, we don't know how far we've come. It's better to be positive than, no, I haven't done any of those things. I don't know, maybe Dhyanaji did them, but I didn't. Better to say, yes, I have done them. I am on my way. Even if I made one step, I'm heading in the right direction. My guru is guiding me. Babaji's with me. The Sangha is with me. I'm serving. Make yourself believe it yourself. That's the first important thing, I think. Believe in yourself. And finally, there was a man who had that attitude, who he was with his guru and he was carrying wood. And that was his whole job. He never went to the satsang inside. His guru said, you just carry the wood. And he kept carrying. And one day he saw that his hair had turned gray. He'd been carrying the wood for so long. And he started crying. He said, all I've been doing is carrying wood. I haven't made any spiritual progress. And his guru rushed out and he held his hands up so that the tears could fall in his hands. He said, you don't know what you've accomplished. If even one tear from such a great soul would fall to the ground, there would be famine for 3 years. And he said, you don't know what you have. And I think none of us know what we have. We think, oh, I'm just a little person. You're not a little person. This is an expanding soul that's trying to break out of the ego. And finally, with Chaitanya's devotees, he was out, they were asking him when would they find God. And he told one, in this lifetime, you, next life, you, 2 lives, you, 3. His foremost disciple came and he says, Master, what about me? And he says, for you, 300 lifetimes. And the man went out the door. And all the guru bhais, they went out and they saw the man. He was out dancing in joy, had his hands up. He was just in ecstasy. And they said, brother, don't you know the master said, it's like 300 lifetimes for you. And he says, you didn't hear him, brothers. He told me I would find God. What else is important? And the guru, Chaitanya, came out and he blessed him. And the man went into ecstasy in that moment. We have to hold that thought. Master said it. If we try our best, he said it. We can find God. Live it, believe it, affirm it. Have it in your heart, mind, and soul. Yes, I will. And if you have that affirmation, I can, I will. Then God's power, Guru's power helps you. God helps those who help themselves. If we help ourselves, yes, we will make spiritual progress. I'll ask Natendra to join me now with a couple of questions.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. We have a few questions, Dhyanaji. I'll just share my screen. So the first question, Dhyanaji, is you did mention that we shouldn't keep looking and uprooting the plant to see how the seed is going. But how frequently should we check our spiritual progress?
Why do you have to check it? Is my question. Let the guru check on you. And I always said, if I was going wrong, somebody would tell me. Swamiji would tell me. Jyotishan Deviji would tell me. What I found is people don't want to hear it. You say one little thing, don't say anything. That's it. I don't want to, I know myself. So people, honestly, they don't really want to hear it. But I wouldn't go checking, but if someone says to you something, listen to them. If someone in authority says something, why not listen to them? Try it. Try to change that whatever it is, that attitude or whatever. But I find people just close up. No, I'm not like that. You're wrong. So what do you do? Even with Master told people, don't do that particular thing. That man who 200 lifetimes, he said, you're going to have 200 more lifetimes if you do that. The guy went out and did it. So, I mean, if you think you're going to check on yourself, I would say, give it another thought, because you're already deluded. So you say, oh, this is fine. This attitude is fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine, but it's not fine. I would go to somebody, if you really want to know, go to somebody who you respect. What they would say, their guidance. And besides going, follow, listen. There's a lot of pitfalls out there. You don't want to go in there. It's hard to get back out. Then?
Thank you. Yeah, the next one is, sometimes I feel that my progress is not like in a straight line. Sometimes I have good phases, but then it is followed by bad phases. So how can I grow continuously?
Honestly, I think people think too much. You're just like if you're in a race And I know you race. You don't think all the time, where am I going? My God, you know, you put all your energy there, you can't run, isn't it? So I would say run, go for it. And then if sometimes it's a hill, it's a hill. Sometimes it's flat, it's flat. Then you got another hill, it's a hill. Then it's flat, it's flat. But if I keep thinking, oh my God, another hill, oh God, I'm gonna never make it on that hill. I gotta get my speed up so I can make the hill. So just let it happen. There's ups and downs, as all our master said, people run backwards even. And so sometimes you're sitting on the sidelines, but you just have to get up and keep going. And so I think, honestly, most people are too analytical about the path. They're always thinking about it, but they don't do anything. I think I want to get up, but they never get up, I think I want to meditate more, but they don't meditate. I think I want to go to the center, but they don't go to the center. You see, I think I want to do seva, but they never do any seva. So I would say, just get moving. Like I like to walk, and sometimes my mind goes, do you really want to walk? It's so hot out there. If I just get to the door and open the door, I'm out. If I stand by the door and analyze if it's too hot, I'll never go out. So keep your energy flowing, and you can do so much more with the heart than with the mind. Once you're caught and stuck up in here, you never do anything. Does it make sense?
Absolutely, Dhyanaji. Just
Okay,
one quick final
one
question.
more.
Yeah, I get inspired by the spiritual progress by some of my other Guru Bhais, but at times it also leads to pressure. So how should I handle that situation?
Don't do that. Don't compare yourself with somebody else, I mean, think about it. You don't know that person's karma. You don't know their dharma. You don't even know yours. Honestly, how can we say I should be like him? He should be like me. Just do your best. And I don't think that's the right attitude to compare. Um, he doesn't meditate as much as I do. I meditate. That's just ego. All ego. Just you can't even take care of yourself. And so do the best on yourself and let master do the corrections. Let him work with you. And I think that last point I brought is the most important. Maybe not the last, but he said, all of you will have clear sailing if, that's a big if you stay in tune. So if we stay in tune, he'll guide us in the right direction. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about anybody else. You can't even get yourself out. Honestly, I mean, if we achieve at getting ourselves out of delusion, that's huge. But remember, Master said, if you can be free yourself, 7 generations front and back of you will have deep, deep spiritual growth from that one soul who's found God. Try to be that one soul, and that will help everybody else around you. God bless you all. Thank you, Natindra. Bye-bye.